Weight loss and weight maintenance can be so frustrating without the proper systems and habits in place. In this video, I'm going to break down the top 8 habits I have learned throughout the past couple years now that I've been able to maintain a 34-pound weight loss. So the first habit that I carry out regularly, well, as regularly as I possibly can as a working mother, is a regular eating schedule. So I typically eat my meals at generally within the same hour each day. After doing a lot of research on the circadian rhythms and the different ways that our internal organs and our brain and our microbiome sync up with what we do on a regular basis, like when we wake up, how many hours of sleep we get, and what kinds of foods we eat, but even more interestingly are the times of day that we decide to eat. So if we keep our body anticipating our meals on a regular basis from day to day, this can improve such things as our ability to regulate blood sugar and keep our metabolism humming and mobilize fat storage better. It even helps us sleep at night and repair our tissues that have been damaged throughout the day. And I feel like there's a constant rhythm to my body and everything is very smooth and anticipated and there's no surprises. Along with this regular schedule comes a lot of preparation and a lot of planning. So I make sure to have meals no matter where I am throughout my day. If I'm at home or if I'm away from home, I'll bring meals with me. And I eat the same general types of foods at each meal, making sure I get plenty of micronutrition, macronutrition, and things that will keep me satiated, like beans and grains and such. Along with a regular eating schedule comes time-restricted feeding. So this is just like it sounds. I typically eat my meals between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Now this can vary from day to day, again, based on what I'm doing, but it doesn't vary much, maybe an hour at most, but I try to keep it within those limitations. And I do keep it so strict because I find that it helps my body's ability to recover and heal so much more than had I kept a wider time range that I'm taking in my meals throughout the day. So when I give myself that 9 to 3 o'clock time frame, not only does it keep me from eating first thing when I wake up in the morning when I'm not really hungry. I used to just do that as a habit, thinking that that's, what we were supposed to do. It was morning, we're supposed to have breakfast. But now I wait till that 9 o'clock period after I've had my exercise and my day's already underway. But with the time restricted eating, it also keeps me from eating mindlessly at night. And that's exactly what I used to do. Lots and lots of nighttime snacking. So when 3 o'clock rolls around, I close up my kitchen, for myself at least, and I know that there's no more meals, there's no more calories that I'm going to be taking in for the rest of the day. And I can just focus on other things. I don't even have to think about it. It's wonderful. For anybody who's suffering from autoimmune conditions, I highly recommend trying a scheduled feeding system. I sound like a cow. If you want more information on like the circadian rhythms and time restricted eating and what it can potentially do for you, then make sure you check out the description box for Dr. Walter Longo and Dr. Sachin Panda. Even Mathew Walker is great in this area of study. The next thing I want to talk about is what my meals actually look like. So at least 50%, if not more, typically a lot more, at least 50% though of my meals are going to consistently contain non-starchy veggies. Things like cucumbers or celery or broccoli, cauliflower, things that hold a ton of micronutrients, but not a ton of calories. So this is how you ensure that you get everything you need throughout a given day, dietarily speaking, without getting too many calories and gaining weight. This might be challenging at first, but after a while, your stomach gets used to that stretch and that bulky volume in your tummy. And after a while, things like raw broccoli and cauliflower don't even bother me anymore. I have zero gas, zero indigestion. Everything is super smooth. You just have to give your body a chance to adapt. I know it sounds really radical eating more veggies, but I promise you it's been absolutely life-changing, especially for my waistline. The third habit I want to talk about actually comes from Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and this is to eat a large, gorgeous salad every day, at least once, for a meal. Not like a little puny side salad, but an actual giant, bulky, vibrant, hearty salad. My salads are not a small bowl or plate. This is like a mixing bowl of salad. It is full of different greens and bell peppers and tomatoes and onions. But equally importantly is what I put on top of my salad. You have to add something other than raw, non-starchy veggies to your meals to make sure you stay satiated. This entails adding something like legumes or grains or potatoes or squash. I will add all of those different components to my salads on any given basis to maintain my feelings of fullness throughout the day. And trust me, there's no way you can get sick of eating the salad every day because there's so many different plant species. I put something new in my salad every single time I make it. And I batch prep my salads because I eat them every day. So I typically make these on a Sunday and they last me the entire week. And if you want more information on how I do that, I'll link this video here. Number 4 is probably pretty obvious, but it's daily movement. And that is not just for weight loss, that is for weight maintenance. And equally importantly, my mental health. It keeps everything kind of in sync, just like your circadian rhythm. It keeps everything level and at an equilibrium and at a homeostasis. It balances all your neurochemistry and it trains your body to utilize that fat instead of storing it. This doesn't have to be anything specific or really high intensity. It just has to be regular. And at least I would say anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes a day. But the days I only do 20 minutes, I definitely do a harder workout than the days that I do closer to an hour. Then I might do something a little lighter. But it's just getting that into your day is what's important. So find something that you enjoy. It could be dancing, swimming, hockey, whatever. Just find something that gets your body moving and try to do it regularly. This also helps things like sleep, which is also great for making sure you maintain your weight loss, as well as making sure your body knows how to mobilize those fat storages properly. It keeps your metabolism going. I wanted to make sure to include some things that had nothing to do with food in this list because there are so many different aspects of your life that will make or break your weight loss efforts. So this one is scheduled, planned time with quality relationships and just taking time off of life, time off of work, time to yourself, time for self-care. So the reason I say quality relationships is it's very important to maintain healthy relationships while making sure you're not holding on to toxic ones. I was doing this the majority of my life and only recently have I realized that that was not serving me and I needed to do something for myself and just let go of those situations and those people. Ever since I did that, I feel so much better. Life is so much easier without that drama. And I'm able to keep my stress level in check at a place where I'm not constantly ruminating about these awful experiences I have with certain individuals or, a certain relationship that I thought I had to hold on to that I really did not. And I don't regret anything. But also making sure you're taking that time off for yourself from work. I know some of us can get really obsessed with our work and we're passionate about it and that's great, but it's so important to schedule in that time for your family and for yourself. Make time for self-care. This could be anything from journaling to meditation to going for a walk or just calling a friend. Anything that brings you to your happy place should be done regularly. Number 6 is maintaining a consistent bedtime routine. So this sounded really goofy to me for a long time, and I didn't think it would have the type of impact that it has, but it truly has saved my life. It has done so much more for me than just the weight loss aspect or the weight maintenance aspect. It has allowed me to stay in touch with all the important things in my life instead of being so run down and irritated and angry all the time and reactive. Like everything was so serious and so important. Everything was so urgent. But when you get enough sleep, everything just starts to make sense. And it all seems so easy when you're clear-headed on a good night's sleep. So when it comes to a bedtime routine, this can mean anything. It just has to be something that winds you down at the end of the day and signals to your body to release that melatonin, stop making so much cortisol, and by all means, make sure you're not digesting at this point so you can give your body that time to pick up those signals that it's time to go to sleep and allow all that autophagy and all those different things to take place while you are resting. All of that cell repair I was referring to in the beginning of this video. Again, you can see the links below for more information on that research. So my specific bedtime routine, it varies from night to night, but it generally consists of like a hot shower and maybe a little journaling. Always, always, always meditation and stretching. Those are what bring me down. In a good way. They bring my energy levels down and my mind is just racing at the end of the day with all the different things I need to keep in mind and everything I need to do for the next day in my to-do list. But especially the meditation just calms all that down and brings me back to homeostasis and at a place where I can start winding down for the night. So there's also a lot of research showing that the stretching actually signals to your brain that you're supposed to start relaxing and going to bed at that time, as well as waking up in the morning. So just give it a try. Let me know how it works out in the comments. Or make sure you share what your bedtime routine is and what's worked for you. I used to have horrible sleep problems, and inevitably I had a very difficult time maintaining my weight. Proper sleep hygiene is so underrated in this society. Number 7 is kind of interesting. It's sequencing your meals. So for this, I try to start most of my meals. You can't do this every time because you don't want to like complicate your life, but you want to make it a point at least to try to eat things like the raw veggies first and foremost, and then cooked veggies, like a plate of steamed greens or something, or a plate of just mixed sauteed vegetables or something, or some kind of soup. And then you start eating things like your starches, your beans, your potatoes, your pastas, your bread, whatever kinds of foods that you eat that are the heavy calorically dense portion of your meal. Just like you would do at a restaurant, have some kind of side salad first, and then you move on to some kind of steamed plate of veggies. And then finally you have your main course, and that usually consists of some kind of starch. The reason I do this is because you know you are hungriest at the beginning of your meal. So you're more likely to eat those raw veggies at that point. But not only that, if you're able to get in those fibrous, high water content foods, you're able to push on those stretch receptors in your stomach a little bit, ensuring that by the time you get to the main course, the more calorie dense portion of your meal, you are not starving and you only eat what you need to feel satiated. Number 8 is my absolute favorite, and that is break your fast with raw veggies. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for doing this, but I promise you, there is no greater time in the day, not first thing in the morning, but when you've had the most time in between meals and you are at your utmost hungriest state for the day. But this does so many great things for you. It starts your blood sugar off at a lower rate all throughout the day, as opposed to this big spike in the morning with some sugary meal to start off, like some cereal or a fruit smoothie or something. You may be skeptical that you'll develop a taste for this, but I assure you, if you do this enough days in a row, and if you eat very clean, whole food, plant-based, you will develop a taste for raw broccoli, raw cauliflower in the mornings. I hope you found value in this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.